Hey guys, this is Bill Rice with Kaleidico. We're a lead generation agency, and I want to share with you on behalf of Age Lead Store a mortgage lead generation kind of acceleration strategy. And this is a great way to stock your lead pipeline for far cheaper than you can do with more traditional things like Google Ads, even email marketing and SEO and content. All those things are important because they generate a different type of lead and a different type of diversity inside of your lead pipeline. But what I'm going to share today is a really cheap way to just flood or accelerate or just increase the lead volume inside of your channel. And it involves purchasing aged leads, but going beyond that and actually applying a strategy to take those aged leads and re-engage them, reactivate them, and create a lead generation pipeline out of that channel specifically. So let me switch over to my iPad and we're going to do kind of a little whiteboarding. I'm going to show you this strategy. So stay tuned and check this out. If you've never been to ageleadstore.com, just wanted to do a quick introduction to the site itself. And again, we're going to be talking specifically about a mortgage lead strategy today. And it's a great site. Full disclosure, Kaleidico actually does the marketing for Age Lead Store. So we did the website, we did a lot of the sales content here. But the one thing that I love about this site in particular is there is tons and tons of sales training. So yes, Age Lead Store sells aged leads and is a lead provider within themselves, but it's not all about selling leads. It's about actually training the mortgage loan officers in this case. We have other lead verticals as well, but training the mortgage loan officer to be successful with the leads that they're purchasing. And that's why we produce videos like these to show you exactly how to be successful with these leads. So if you get through this video and you want to implement this strategy, you just simply can go to ageleadstore.com. This is very unique as well because it's a self-serve platform. You can obviously at any time, you can reach out to the phone number in the upper right-hand corner here or the email in the upper right-hand corner, and we can assist you, particularly if you're a large call center and looking to buy a high volume of leads or a particular segmentation of leads. We can help you with that. But most of that, even the larger orders, you can accomplish right here on the site. And it's just as simple as this. You go down here, you pick the age of the leads that you'd like to work, the states that in the case of mortgage you're licensed in or that you would like to buy leads as a result of that licensing. I'm here in Michigan outside of Detroit, so we're just going to select the one state. You can get very granular because these are all internet generated leads. And so there's all kinds of characteristics on these leads, just like you would from a real-time lead provider. The only difference is, of course, there's some age on them, right? There's been some time since the consumer originally made the request. But as a result of all those characteristics, you can select multiple different filter items here. I'm going to keep it relatively wide. We're going to go refinance, maximum loan to value, 85, so that'll make it a really good lead credit type. I'm going to take off the fair. We're going to do excellent and good, and we're going to hit the get count and see how many leads are available to purchase. You can see within those filters, which you can see right here at the top, we have 3,600 leads or a little more than that. We can select whatever we want to. Need to buy at least 100. That's probably good. This is a game definitely of large numbers, so we're going to want to buy a few of those. A few more than 100 anyway, but that's the minimum order. We're going to go ahead and buy 1,000 today, and we're going to go ahead and add those to our cart. Go ahead and log in there, and you can see I'm ready to buy 1,000 leads. And just simply from this point, I can go ahead and apply a coupon if I happen to have that, and go to checkout, and I can go ahead and finish my order. So it's just that simple to get leads. But I want to get into the strategy here. In this particular case, our strategy is going to involve aged mortgage leads. But we're going to do more than just simply purchase these leads. And oftentimes people get less return on them because they don't have a system in place to work these leads. So they are aged. Meaning that there's been some time since these were the actual consumer came online and said, hey, give me contact me or give me a rate quote. And so you have to have a system because some of these folks have already been helped probably. Some of these folks have maybe changed email addresses, maybe changed their phone numbers, those sort of things. Here's the basic strategy that we're going to work. So the first thing is, of course, we're going to get that lead file that's going to be provided when we make that order. And this is just simply a CSV file. And then we're going to do a few different things. If we have a CRM system, that's the best place to house these new leads because we'll be able to immediately get them into our existing sales process, just like a new lead. And that's one of the secrets here is, treat these like new leads. You're going to want to change your scripting a little bit, and I'm going to share with you, actually, if you want the scripts that I use specifically for calls, email, and text messages, which is what the flow I'm going to show you here, just simply filled out the, hit that little button, learn more, or wherever it is, and then fill out the information, and we'll send you those scripts. But once we put them into the CRM, again, we want to treat it like a new lead. The first thing that we want to do, and you can do these in different orders, but I always suggest first sort of calling these, right? So this is my failed attempt at an iPhone, but go ahead and give these things a call, right? So we're going to try to call them first. That's probably going to result in a voicemail. So make sure that we already have our script ready for that. So we're going to have our scripts ready. I'm a big advocate of scripts, right? Because it gives me a linear path and understanding of where I want to take this person when I make contact. And sometimes when you're dealing with things like age leads, or you're dealing with something that's in a high volume, you're going to have a lot of no's, or you're going to have a lot of dead air before you actually hit someone. And without that script, you're probably going to be a little bit off guard, and it's just not going to feel as clean, and it's not going to sort of convey the confidence that person on the other line wants to hear, or that email wants to hear. So we're going to do that. Then we're also going to send them an email, and inside of, and this is actually inside of this voicemail, we're going to reference the email. This is why I like to start with a phone call, even if we leave a voicemail on the first call, is just to let them know, hey, I'm going to also send you an email. It's going to have all my contact information in, so look for that. And that will help the success on this email. But I'm not going to stop here. This is all automatically going to kick off an email sequence, right? And so I'm going to already pre-program at least 3 of these, right? You can do a little bit longer than that, but I would suggest at least that. And then depending on sort of how your organization looks at things and what is good and sort of kosher within your organization, the other thing that I would suggest is a text message. And so we do text message. And all of these is going to have a very simple message, right? So all of these, when we're talking about the script portion of this, the message on this first one is going to be just simply just checking in. Okay? And that's all you're going to do. Hey, I'm just checking in. And then from there, you can say, hey, on such and such date, because you'll get that in the age leads, you were looking to get a rate quote. I want to see, were you able to do that refinance? Were you able to get it accomplished? Give me a call or hit reply if you are still looking for that refinance. So something as simple as that. Then you can progress down, and again, you can get that script. The other thing that should be in each one of these messages, and ultimately one of the main things that you want to do is a link to your website, right? The URL to your website. And ideally, this is a landing page, right? And on this landing page, this is something that people never seem to understand, but it works super effective. A lot of times they've been through a process. They don't want to call you back. They don't want to email you back. They don't want to text message you. They don't want to go through that sales process again, but they are curious about the rate quote. So Whether it's in the first email, you should definitely reference your website, but even particularly in the second and third email, we're really going to rely a lot on this email and possibly the text message. If this is something that you're willing and inclined to do. But we're trying to drive them to the landing page and the website. And on here, we're going to take them through a very similar experience to what they probably went through the first time. And this is really important because so many times I talk to folks and they buy a bunch of age leads and then they proceed to go do door knocking or they do direct mail. And all those are viable methods, but it needs to be within a system that is also digital, because most of these age leads came from a digital marketing channel. So you already know their preference. So when you go to these offline channels, those can be good in supporting, potentially re-engaging them. But if you don't have a digital component, you're certainly not going to be as effective, because that's what they were already sort of tuned into. That was their preference. So you're going to see a lot of these folks, if you send them or provide them with a URL, a lot of them will actually re-engage with your website. They'll fill out your form again, right? Because they filled out a form the last time, and they will then become a fresh lead. You will be amazed at how effective this is. So don't always play for the direct engagement. Re-engage them, tell them that you can be their provider. You can give them a rate quote. You can give them an update. You can give them another mortgage review. You can review their current situation with them. Be that valuable provider. Act like you are their loan officer for life. You want to take on that. Treat them like they're a fresh lead and try to get them familiar with your brand and your website. The other thing, as a result of that, just by going here, if you are doing other things, which you should be, like Google ads and Facebook ads, by driving them to the website, you just kicked in remarketing. And so you can start the marketing process on them again. Now, here's the amazing part that I saved for last. Generally, if you were to do Google ads campaigns, SEO or content, or you were to buy just fresh, brand new leads, each one of those leads and clicks would cost you, right? If you figured it all out, what it cost you to do the content and to get the SEO result, and then to drive that conversion to the lead form, or if you were to see what are you paying for Google ads in order to generate a lead, or you were to just buy a lead from a real-time lead provider, that fresh lead is going to cost you conservatively anywhere from $45 to $150. Conservatively. What do aged leads cost you inside of this CSV? So what does this marketing channel cost you per lead? $1. Cost you about $1 a lead, right? So even regardless, these fresh leads that you're generating with these other channels, they're not going to convert 100%, right? They're going to convert 4, 5, 6%, and you're going to be happy with that. And you can see this number is going to get pretty close to about $1,000 per funded loan. Well, imagine if you convert this at a couple of percent, right? For $1, you're going to be hard pressed to generate a total per funded loan out of age leads in excess of $100 per loan, right? So if you just do the math here between these two channels, this is going to be harder work up here. This dollar lead, this age leads, there's no question you need a system. But if you have a system, it's really not a lot more work, because your loan officer, or you as a loan officer, or your call center isn't spending more time on the lead. You're kicking in automation and leveraging that with your human touch. But it's certainly going to be a lot more efficient than this number. So hope this has been valuable to us. Encourage you to subscribe, sign up, go ahead and request the script for this so that you can get that here down below and get on our list and get engaged with us. There's so much more of this sales training available to you. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.